catching a reflection in the mirror of something standing in the corner of my room, watching me, observing me. Is it my imagination or insanity? A strange hum, a flash of light. I'm overcome, nothing but fright. Otherworldly beings taking me in the night. I'm an extraterrestrial hostage tonight. I wanna run, but I can't move. What do I do? What do I do? Where are they taking me? Where are they taking me? I'm an extraterrestrial hostage tonight. I wanna run, but I can't move. I don't feel real. I wake up in my bed. Was it just in my head? Looking at my hand, there's something there. Inside of me, I'm feeling oh so scared. Confusion and nasty fear. It wasn't just a nightmare. So loud, so bright, hypnotizing me, figures lost in time. I'm tortured, surrounding me tonight. I'm an extraterrestrial hostage tonight. I wanna run, but I can't move. What do I do? What do I do? Where are they taking me? Where are they taking me? I'm an extraterrestrial hostage tonight. I wanna run, but I can't move. I don't feel real. I wake up in my bed. Was it just in my head? Where are they taking me? Nothing's swelling in me. Where are they taking me? Anxiety rising. Was it just in my head? Paralyzing panic. Was it just in my head? I'm an extraterrestrial hostage tonight. I wanna run, but I can't move. What do I do? What do I do? Where are they taking me? Where are they taking me? I'm an extraterrestrial hostage tonight. I wanna run, but I can't move. I don't feel real. I wake up in my bed. Was it just in my head?
As I travel this life alone, two paths both unknown. For what already has this life shown? The first step I diverge from normalcy. No paper cut out life for me. I did it my way, not much more to say. Less traveled, dark and cold. I came upon a fork in the road. I pondered, both mind free. The fall had come, for yellow is the autumn tree. Both I long to travel, for I'm but one. I could not see, for both were bent, the overgrowth and canopy. Where will destiny lead me? The first step I diverge from normalcy. No paper cut out life for me. I did it my way, not much more to say. I began my journey on the road less traveled. Regret haunts me at times, looking back wondering where the other path myself would find. But both paths are traveled equally. For many take the zombie road to normalcy, and others seek individuality. From the wear on the trail it appears 50-50. With every footstep came pitfalls and risks, rewards and opportunities. Looking back, what did I really miss? The first step I diverged from normalcy. No paper cut out life for me. I did it my way, not much more to say.
All right, folks. Welcome to Paranormal Roundtable. I'm your host, Josh Turner. This is PRT. Join us in the real reality. So what do we got going on tonight? What we got going on? Last night we dropped the Patreon episode. It was a potluck, but it turned out all the stories were from Texas. Couple of different things we talked. What did we talk about? Was it El Muerte? Was it El Muerte?
Yeah, it was at La Chuza, the Black Bull Bridge. It was like 4 different things.
Yeah, it was pretty good stuff. And maybe a third of the Patreon members watched it. Now, remember, we're dropping these extra episodes for you guys that join the Patreon. If you're on the Patreon, go check it out. They're on Patreon, right? That's how you look them up. Yeah. You will have access to the Patreon. Just go join it. Go check it out. And not only do you get the swag bags, but you get the Patreon member episodes. And not only that, but if you are a member from the channel here, you get your name in green. I see Andres Carazales, see how his name is in green. And Lawrence Morgan. Yeah, if your name is in green, you will get to see the members only show tomorrow that we're dropping, right? We're dropping one tomorrow.
That's going to be a good one.
Yeah, which one is that?
That's going to be Tiffany's vampire story.
Oh.
Yeah.
That one was
that one's actually pretty like graphic.
Yeah, I was kind of emotional about that. I kind of wanted that one on Patreon just in case, but oh well, it is what it is. That one was tough.
Yeah.
So Lunar Eclipse says Patreon's show was excellent. Thanks, PRT gang. It was. I thought it was great, but I wish more people would join, or at least if you're already a member, go watch it. We're making these episodes so people can watch them, not for them to just sit there, you know. And we're not going back. We're gonna be on Patreon and members only. That's what we're gonna do. You're still getting a live stream. So we talked about this, and I haven't talked to you about it yet. It was something me and Nelly talked about. I got to throw Nelly's name in there so I get more weight behind it.
Mm-hmm.
How about this? We were thinking about doing an extra live stream for the Patreon.
Okay.
You know how we were going to move the Wednesday one over?
Yeah.
But instead of doing that, so we can still keep a lot of stuff free, I know you wanted to only have one live stream so the trolls would back off, leave us alone. They're not going to back off. They're not going to leave us alone. It doesn't matter what we do. So I'm of the believer that we should do an extra live stream a week and put it like on a Friday or Saturday. And if not, maybe we could do one every other week. Like every other week would be good. And we could make that for the Patreon after Thanksgiving. Or maybe start. I said after Thanksgiving, we all kind of talked about it. But I was thinking like maybe during October. Because it's Halloween time. And we have all these stories that are backed up. We could we could do it that way.
Yeah.
What do you think?
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that could work.
Yeah. A lot of people have been attacking me lately, but you're like, what else is new? Oh, they're attacking me now for my beliefs, for my views, and it's not going to change. You can smack me all day long. It's not going to change because you're trying to change the truth. And the truth is the truth. What these people ask me to do is to basically lie. They're literally not only are they asking, they're like practically demanding. One of my colleagues informed me yesterday because it's something that I posted on my Facebook, and basically he told me that I was wrong and I was going to go to hell, and I told him I'm not wrong. You're wrong. He says, well, I know my Bible. I said, first of all, knowing the Bible is okay, but knowing the real reality, that's what's important. But also, even knowing the Bible that he uses, which is a very limited book.
Yeah.
I showed him. I said, dude, you're not reading the New Testament passages. And he's like, oh, you're one of those New Testament Christians. No shit. That's what you're supposed to be.
It's kind of redundant to say New Testament Christian.
And so I told him, I said, well, that now, because you have this two kinds of Christians. You have those ones that are just Old Testament, and they believe that that's wherever all the information is.
We call those Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you got the ones like us that are not stupid.
Yeah.
So anyways, that went down, and so we're not friends no more. And he didn't say anything else about me, but if he does, which I'm suspecting he might, I'm going to tell you who he is. Because I'm not going to be attacked, and people are not going to attack me and my wife anymore without repercussions. You mess with me, you might get the horns. Now, 100%, you come at me, you say something, I'm going to put you on blast, and I'm going to say something back. I'm not going to take your crap. You want to go file false reports and say that we're threatening you? Nobody's threatening you. Nobody's doing anything to any of you. None of us are threatening you. Nobody has done anything to you. But we're not going to take your crap. I'm sick and tired of being attacked for 2 straight years. Before, it was like, every now and then somebody would say something. Now it's like every day for 2 straight years. I've had enough of it. And then on top of it, you want me to be punished. Why would I be punished for saying something back to you that you started when I'm not threatening you physically at all? So these people are just, it's too much.
Yeah.
We're not going anywhere. So stop pushing us and trying to make us go away.
There's not even like an end game there. I mean, like, what do y'all think that you're going to accomplish? What are you going to gain out of this? Our people are not going to just magically go towards you and start listening to whatever it is that you have to say. They don't like you. They're not here for you. They don't care. Like, have any of you actually thought this through? Like, what is the end game for you? When all is said and done, what do you stand to gain from it?
They think that they're going to drive us away and that everybody's going to run over there and start listening to their chum bucket show or shows. And they're not going to. They would find someone else, maybe not someone as good as us. Come out and say it, but they'll find somebody that's more comparable to us. And there's people out there that do a good job, and they're not it. So they'll find someone else to get their information from and to get the stories delivered. It's not going to be you. It will never be you guys.
No.
Simple
if you were good enough to get our listeners, you'd be getting them now. But
and then you're like, I got receipts and turned them in. No, you didn't. I promise you did not turn anything truthful in to anybody because you don't have receipts of us attacking you. You attacked us. We retaliated. What you have are receipts from something you started. Making big old boastful, prideful boast, arrogant, like the Bible says in the end, prideful, arrogant, and boastful. You're making these lambastic, bombastic statements, lambasting me and my family, but they're not true. And you're just doing it so you could draw people in so they'll say a bunch of horrible things about me. Well, you accomplished that with a bunch of morons. Good. You said a bunch of crap, but it's not true. It's not real. It's just you trying to put on a big show and have a bravado or whatever. Go take your sword and go play in the
Sure.
LBL. You're a cosplayer.
Quit
That's
being
what
so
you are.
melodramatic, dude. And grow up.
Stop the drama soap opera.
And get a haircut. You're like 60, 70 years old,
You don't need
dude.
to be doing all that.
Enough with the stringy long hair.
And you couldn't even do a workout. I mean, how are you going to go wander around in the woods? Somebody's going to have to call medevac on him to get him out of there.
Sure.
He's not even strong enough to hold those swords. So, Sparky, what's up, Sparky? So, Sparky, we had a good time last night. We and Sparky were on Abe's show for like hours.
Yeah, I was
I was
listening.
on it for like 3 or 4 hours. They had been going for a couple of hours when I joined.
Yeah, I think they went for like 6 hours
It was
last
6
night.
hours, yeah, and I was off and on. I had work to do, folks. I apologize. I was on post, and I had to go do my job and then come back because we had people out because everybody's got freaking COVID. I know people are like, well, you have COVID too. But that doesn't matter. If you run a business, you own a business, whatever, you have to go and work. My business partner's in his 70s, and he works 4 hours a day at another site during the day. Like, he can do it, I can do it. So I had to work like 14 hours altogether. That's just life, man. That's what you got to do. And here I am right now. And when I'm done here, I got to go do work.
Mm-hmm.
Got to run around, do all kinds of stuff. Letting some people join here, getting people in. Sage Cooley says, I reviewed Abe's love from last night. He reviewed his love.
Gave it 5 stars.
Yeah, we had fun. We had fun. Sparky's a good guest. I want to do a show with him and Abe on my channel. That's what I want to do. We had a lot of fun. Thank you for that, Edwin. Edwin says, Josh is a good-hearted person. I have a lot of respect for Josh's family. Edwin, above all things, everything that we, I try to be real. I try to be a real person and tell it like it is. Nobody's always nice and happy 100% of the time, but you can do the best you can. I'm going through absolute hell right now in my life. It's one of the darkest times of my life, and I'm still pushing. And so I think that my actions speak for themselves. I don't need to sit up here and pretend to be somebody I'm not. These people can say whatever the hell they want to say about me. They can turn me into whatever agency they want to turn me into. I did nothing to them. And if these people have a thimbleful of brains, they're going to look and see that I didn't do anything to them. I welcome them. Let them come and talk to me. And I'll set it straight. I didn't do anything to these people. I didn't threaten these people. It's ridiculous, man. They sit up there and they just lie. Sean Hertel says, love the Patreon. Thank you for the donation, man. Thank you for the 3 people so far that have donated. We appreciate it. Love the Patreon last night. I got my t-shirt too. Thanks. Excellent. So if you stick around tonight, we're going to get back on the giveaways, right? We're doing the giveaway tonight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we're going to give away to 3 lucky people. Get your name in green. That's not how you can be picked, but it helps you for tomorrow so you can watch the members only.
Mm-hmm.
Or if anybody's kind enough to gift some people memberships, that's always cool. I like that feature. That's one thing I do like. Whenever I go on someone else's channel, I'll give people their membership, whatever. Because everybody's got their own little membership, members only thing, whatever.
Yeah.
It just took us a while for us to actually do that. We were just doing, we saw the members thing on there, like I said before, and we were like, well, let's just do giveaways with it because all our content was free.
Yeah.
But now we got to do something. We're not making enough money, so we got to do something. Kez Marquez started out watching them, but when it discovered y'all, it was like night and day when it came to quality. Yeah, that's what happens. Thank you, Lawrence, for that.
Yeah, tomorrow's episode is going to be a members only episode, and that will be the 3rd members only episode. So,
and now there's a bunch of people with iPhones said they can't join the members.
So as best as I can figure out, if you have an iPhone, then for whatever reason, the YouTube iPhone app is not going to have a button that it should have. It should say join right next to the bell icon or the subscribe button, but iPhones don't have that. So, but what you can do, I believe what you can do if you have an iPhone is if you go to YouTube on your phone's web browser, I think it's called Safari, Open that up, go to YouTube there, sign in. And then once you come to Paranormal Roundtable from YouTube on your web browser, you should be able to hit the join button or whatever it says, become a member, join, something like that. But if you're on iPhone and you're trying to use the YouTube app, it's probably not going to work. You're probably going to have a hard time.
Yeah. There's Abe. What's up, man? Abe Cius. Apparently, Abe Cius is now Pokey.
He's what?
He's my pony pal Pokey, according to the
Pokemon?
cosplayer, the crackhead Hulk Hogan, the cosplayer of LBL.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so apparently now that's what they're calling Abe. Abe is my pony pal Pokey.
What the?
That's from Gumby.
I don't know what that is.
It's because he's 90 years old, dude. That's what you don't know what that is, because he's 90 years old. I was a kid, and they were showing reruns of Pokey, of what's his name? Gumby. It was weird when I was little. I don't know. So yeah, it was already weird. You know? So what about this? In between, because we're going to do a couple different things here tonight. We'll do the giveaway 3 times, and we'll do it during the middle of the show. Right? We'll do like one in the middle, and then one, and then another one. We'll do that. How about that?
Yeah.
I don't even know why. We prayed for him. Everything was cool. I thought we were fine. And he comes back and it's just trash talk. Of course, he's being led by Larry, but
his master.
That's his boss. His boss is Larry.
Yeah.
Larry tells him what to do. So he basically he came back from his illnesses or his hiatus, whatever he was doing.
Yeah.
His diabetes.
His self-induced diabetes. And then he just started talking a bunch of crap. Yeah, I just went after me and Abe, and I'm like, well, whatever, dude. I mean, now he's crying and going to the police or whatever. Go. He's just throwing.
I hope you do. I hope you're not lying and bluffing. I hope you really do, because I'd love to throw them the real receipts and show them all the harassment from all of these fools. They need to pay attention to what's going on. They need to be looking at these people because they're sick. It's cyber stalking what you're doing. These people are crazy, man.
Yeah. He's throwing a temper tantrum because he can't have soda anymore. It's like a baby when you take away their candy. They just cry and cry and cry.
Yeah, I agree with spilling tea here. Best to stay away from them no matter what they say. I'm sorry they suppose they are. Wash your feet and be done. Welcome them back. No, they can never be. Never. I want nothing. I'm going to say this publicly. I want nothing to do with any of you people that are doing this. Nothing. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to parlay with you. Nothing. I made a mistake ever thinking that we could just go our separate ways. You're going to keep on and keep on. The jealousy runs in their veins, dude. It's just jealousy. It's there. Calling me all kinds of names, claiming that I'm wearing a Leviathan at the
well, because you're not supposed to.
Bear. What's it called? The bear.
The
Iron Bear.
Dancing bear.
Iron Bear.
Iron Bear.
Iron Bear.
But see, the thing is, you're not supposed to show up in 2019 and outwork them and have more success than they've had in over a decade. For Barton, 2-3 decades, he could not stand the fact that like PRT is more successful than him, is more recognized and more beloved than him, and it's only been around since 2019. You're not supposed to do that.
Yeah, it was the jealousy thing.
Mm-hmm.
I had several people that were close to him. Several people that were really close to him that told me he is so jealous of you.
You can't be Johnny Come Lately and upstage the old guard like that. They wage war when you do that every time. And that goes for any like community, any group of people. Like you have this old guard of these gatekeepers who are already there, and if you get too successful too fast, they want to destroy you.
Well, JX says, tired of hearing about it. It seems petty. You're tired of hearing about it? Do you understand what these people have done? You're tired of hearing about it? I'm sick of dealing with it, dude. You want me to run a channel and do what I got to do when I'm getting attacked, and these people are destroyed. They've destroyed my algorithms with mass reporting. They've destroyed it. We get 250 subs a month now. We're barely growing because of these people. So you're tired of hearing about it. I'm tired of living it. Then he makes a post to all his whacked out redneck listeners And he's got some people. He's not like Mike, who ain't got nobody but fake accounts. This guy's got people. And they literally are now saying that Nellie doesn't have a tumor in her head. They're literally saying that. I wish that was true. I wish that was true. My hand to God, I wish it was true. But to do these things, that's not petty. When you say those kind of things, and then you go and run and turn me into the police and the FBI, whatever, and tell them that I'm trying to hurt you or kill you, whatever, bullshit. Do you think that's petty? That's petty to you? I'm sorry you feel that way. You can go and hang out with them. Just always that's why one time whenever JX first came around, I thought he was one of them. Like we almost booted him out.
Yeah. Because
of this crap, because what we got to go through. See you later, man.
If you want to talk about petty, then you can tell Barton that he's being petty.
He said, okay, cancel membership. Good. Cancel everything. Go hang out with Barton. Barton Nunnally's channel. Go whatever he's doing. Go follow him. Go be with him and Mike from Oklahoma. Mm-hmm. Go be petty over there with them fuckers. Anybody else can go too. Like Barton made that post about anybody get to step in, whatever. Get to step in here. I don't care. Go be with those people. Go get the quality that you're going to get from here. Go get it from them.
We already have the quality of people that we need.
Seems petty. Man, dude, a tumor in my wife's brain is not petty. And I didn't use it to try to get money or anything else. It was a post was made on Facebook. People could pray for her. That's what we want is prayer. And we want people to help us with prayer. That's what we need. Because prayer works. But you're banned, dude. See ya. Goodbye. You don't need to be a part of what we're doing.
The last few times he's been in chat, he's been kind of mouthy anyway.
Yeah, let him go. Let him go. We don't need smart mouth, stupid people that want to
piping up with these little disgruntled comments. We've been nice up to this point, but people don't think like that. They don't think like, oh, I've been given chance after chance after chance. No.
Yeah, Maddox always has some smart ass to say.
Now we're just going to be mad, angry.
Yeah. You can go join the other people that are mad and angry who are always attacking us. Go be one of them.
Yeah.
You're just going to be another pissant. That's what you are. You're just going to be another angry guy. What I want is people who give a shit. That's what I want. So we're waiting to get some people in here. You know, we've been under such heavy scrutiny and attack, and a lot of us have. I've talked to a lot of my friends. It's not just me, man. It's all over YouTube. It's all over the podcast. A lot of people's numbers are down. I've seen it. It's really crazy, man. Especially people who are espousing a Christian view.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's going to happen. Seems petty. When someone talks about my wife, that's not petty to me. When someone makes up lies about us and slanders us every way they can, then tries to flip the script and say we're doing that, no, that's not. We're not doing that. We haven't done that. Go to PRT News. Go look.
All we do is take screenshots of all the crazy stuff that they say and post it and show people, look, this is what this person is saying, but they can't stand that because, like roaches, they don't like being in the light. That is the very nature of evil. They don't like being exposed. They want to throw their rock and hide their hand, and which is what they've been doing and getting away with for years with all these other people in the community. Now they come up against Wolf, against PRT, against paratroopers, and they throw their rock, and we catch their hand and show everyone, look, this is the hand that threw the rock at you. It's right here. And they can't escape. They can't get away. They're so desperate. They're squirming and squirming and squirming so desperately to hide that hand. But Wolf, PRT, all y'all here, paratroopers who've supported us, you're holding that hand and you're showing it to everyone. This is the hand that's been throwing rocks at you for years. So we're not going to stop, and we're not going anywhere. So you can do what you do, but you're only hurting yourself.
Thank you, Solovino, for that. We definitely could use it right now. Jessica says, have you done a defamation lawsuit? No, super expensive. Something I talked about on Abe's show last night with Sparky. Go to Sparky's channel and go to Jerry and Ella Williams' channel. What is Jerry and Ella Williams' channel?
You know what?
And
It
Sparky's
changed
channel
recently.
too.
Let me see.
Yeah, get their channel and Sparky's channel. Post the links up there. Go and watch the videos they made on Ike. You'll see. Get this, Sparky, you and Abe. While we were talking last night, I got sent a screenshot of so Ike was in there watching us. He was watching us last night. 4 a.m. he was watching us. Yeah, I was at work, so I got a reason. And you guys were doing the show. But what was he doing up? What's he doing up? Because he doesn't work, folks. So he can sit there and watch. And then he made some post, and I got sent the screenshot right after I was about to jump off. And I looked at it, and I had to go do my round. That dude was up there watching us, and he's over there talking about how if somebody can't control you, they want to destroy you. Who's trying to control you? Nobody's trying to control you, dude. Nobody's trying to control any of y'all.
There's nothing of value to control.
Nothing of value to control. Just leave us the hell alone. Do your thing, and we do our thing, and you leave us alone, and we'll be fine. Don't talk about my people. Don't talk about my wife. That's it. Man, damn, how hard is that? If you could do that, I would never speak of you again. You have my word. Y'all's names would never, ever come up if you would stop attacking Nelly. Just do that, and we could go from there. But you can't stop. And there, Sparky said, "Yeah, there was. You want us to leave us alone and do your own thing, man. But you got to sit there and obsessively watch Abe like some kind of weird gay stalker, and then and you're sitting there watching this guy, and you're watching me right now, and everything we do and say is so utterly important to you. Why is that so important to you? Go do whatever the F it is you do out there at your property. Pretend that Bigfoot's chasing you. I don't give a shit what it is. I don't care what this other idiot does in the LBL. He can swing a sword around. Yeah, I'm a medieval knight or whatever the hell he believes he is. Nobody cares. Just leave people the hell alone. That's it. That's all that us, Blondes of Booze, Abe Seas, Jerry and Ella Williams, Bettina, me, that's all any of us ever wanted. Boomer, Tex, just leave us the hell. You leave everybody alone. You won't have these problems. Helbin Holler, everybody. We all just wanted to be left alone. None of us wanted to be threatened to be killed and essayed and burned up and all this other crap you've said. Y'all have said the most horrible things. You had a guy call on Abe's channel and saying because we were attacking Barton Nunley. Nobody has called your channels and said because you were attacking Josh Turner or Helbin Holler or Blondes and Booze or Abe Seas. None of our people have done that to you to date. And literally called and threatened and cursed and said that you were gonna do this to my wife, you were gonna burn us and hang us. This guy said that on Abe's show. It's petty. It's petty to you. Somebody literally comes up there and threatens to kill us, to essay my wife, burn us alive, cut our heads off, hang us, all this other crap. And he did it in the name of Barton Nunley. That's what he did. So, Barton, yeah, take this one to the cops, you son of a bitch. You didn't denounce that guy. You didn't say anything about that guy. Nothing.
Same thing he did whenever Larry was
popping up, threatening to shoot everybody and kill everybody. And these people do this. This is what you do.
You didn't say nothing.
You didn't say nothing. You backed up Brother Larry. Barton. That's what you did. And what happened with Jesse when this freaking maniac from Oklahoma was talking about we should kill her, she's a witch, kill witches and all this stuff. Dude, you were aiming that directly at her. You know you did. You did that, Mike. Yes, you did. Go get a lawsuit. I would love to depose you in court. You vile bastards. There's nothing good about you. Nothing good comes from you or any of the people that follow you or run around running their mouths, especially the ones that are half-ass talking shit. You don't know me. You don't know anything about me. Making up stories that we paid the state of Oklahoma to kidnap your kid. You are so crazy. You're so crazy. You're always talking about how you've turned us into the law. For what? For the crap that you're doing and our reactions to it? Go throw another rock. Pretend like it's Bigfoot. Or maybe in y'all's case, smoke it. I don't know what you do with them. I'm sick and tired of it. And then somebody has the nerve to come on here and say it's petty. Shut the fuck up. And the other night, man, I don't know if I told you, I was this close to quitting.
Yeah.
They're just pushing and pushing and pushing. I have things to take care of. I got to help my wife with her health. It's a long road. We're going to have a lot to do. I'm trying to get things done, and I can't get things done when people are constantly attacking us, waging war. That's it. You just can't get things done. Folks, I can't go to my friends are having a conference. Krista and Brandy are having a conference this week coming up. What is it?
Crossing Realms, I think.
23rd?
Yeah, I think so. Let me see.
They've asked me multiple times. I think it's coming up this week. They've asked me multiple times about going and being at the conference, at least showing up. And I said, you don't want me there because these maniacs will show up and they'll probably try to do something to me. And that's why we didn't have the last conference. We did 2 great conferences. We couldn't have a third because they were threatening to kill me. And then when I was supposed to go speak in San Antonio, some weird guys showed up. They didn't know who they were. And I was like, well, it's a good thing I got sick. And I was very upset about it. But it was probably an act of God. In my opinion, I got sick. God kept me at home. That's all I can think of. Because something could have happened to me there. These people aren't playing with a full deck, and they are vile, evil people. Vile, evil people. And if you look at my Facebook, there's a guy on there, and he's stalking me, watching me right now. It goes by Brad Smith. I don't know if that's your real name, you old bastard. He's an ugly old bastard. He's put his picture on there. You communist. I can tell you, and he is a friend of Barton's.
Yep.
Got the screenshots to prove it.
He's a communist and a Satanist.
He's a communist Satanist.
Posting Baphomet and pentagrams on your page.
Mm-hmm.
Just spamming that crap. Talking about have fun with the hexes and curses. That's real cute.
Hexes and curses. Yet we're the ones supposedly sending are you telling the police that we're sending you curses and that you really believe this, Barton? Are you telling people that? Tell them. You're going to let them handle it. Yet you went up there and made a big old post after you did that. After you turn somebody into law enforcement, the best thing you can do is shut up, right? But not you. You turn us into law enforcement for threatening you, which we didn't do. And then you go make a big old post about it, big old stink. You're full of shit. And you got no receipts because I didn't threaten you. You liar. Yeah, right there. Thank you, Rain. Ike's comment section, go look. They had a person saying Judgment Day was when the San Antonio Magic Time Machine Conference was supposed to happen. That was definitely a threat. It was. And I got sick, and Nellie was worried sick that I was still going to go. And I ended up getting sick. That was last September. It was it wasn't September. What was it, September? Or was it? It was August.
Yeah.
Because all of September I had gout. I had that freaking gout. It's crazy, man. I mean, they just cannot stop. They will not stop. And so when somebody sits up there and says something stupid like it's petty, well, it's petty because it's not happening to you in your life. You know?
Yeah.
But this is what I got to go through on top of everything else. We did, Jessica. We did reported everything, and they said, oh, these people aren't going to do nothing to you. They reassured us that they weren't going to kill you. And then one of these guys started yelling and screaming at my wife and got her crying and everything else because they weren't going to help us. But Brother Larry bragged that he believed that police officer believed me over them because I'm a former lawman. He bragged about it.
Yeah.
Really? They believed you over us, huh?
Basically,
good for you.
Basically useless. Like the law is not going to do anything for you. I think we need to get away from depending on that because it gives us these unrealistic expectations of them. They're just people, and they're prone to laziness and sloth like anyone else. Incompetence. You
know what's even worse is that what's that girl's name? The big heavy one. I forgot her name.
Jessica.
Jessica, I'm gonna say this one more time. Okay. Mike is the one that trolls you. He trolls everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And you keep on saying that I'm going into your live stream and that I'm trolling you. I don't have time, girl. to go and watch some pissant channel.
That's
And once
Mike
again,
laughing
I
at
mean,
you the whole time.
what
He's
is
laughing behind your back.
What is that channel called again?
Arcane.
Arcane.
Something.
Okay, I think it's called Arcane Paranormal. Every time they say that I'm in there making comments and that Mike says he boots me out. I don't go to any of your channels. My hand to the Bible, I can't watch your channels. I don't watch your shows.
They don't offer anything.
There's nothing, even if you watch them just to see what they're saying,
Yeah.
it's sickening. They're garbage. It's garbage time.
There's no reason to watch them.
Let me get my notes out here for the show. We got 300 people now. Casey's his name. I'll make sure I got it right there. I'm about to say his name wrong. I had it spelled Case. It's not correct. So I got contacted by a guy. And we talked about this last night on Abe's show, and I thought this is a good topic we could talk about. Sorry for the venting, man. 40 minutes of this bullshit. I'm really sick and tired of this crap with these people. I'm sick and tired of it. We have dealt with more than our fair share of the crap. And yeah, you might think it's petty because it's not happening to you. But if it's happening to you, you wouldn't be thinking that. Especially when you're trying to run a legit channel like we are, and you're just constantly being attacked by these freaking vampires. So here's the thing. I got contacted by a guy his name's Casey. Okay. And it was him and his girlfriend. Well, Gina was like, she was a part of it, but she was kind of on the fringes of it. This is the first, I don't know how long this story is going to go, but it's going to be, it's going to take up probably at least, 30, 40 minutes for sure. If not longer. But I have the notes here. I would ask you for help, but like you said the other day, I don't know how to do anything technical, and I need you for that. So I'm going to make sure that you don't.
That does
See
not
him, he's
sound
laughing.
like something I say.
That is you. You always point it out. You always try to say, because that's what you got over me, so you try to point that out.
No. I say you don't. I probably said you don't try. I didn't say you didn't know how.
I don't try. You haven't seen me throw the computer screen across the room many times?
Yeah, but that works on old computers, not new ones. These newfangled ones.
You're slapping it like a Zoolander.
These
newfangled computer.
These newfangled ones, you got to kind of caress them like this. You got to be gentle.
You see how it keeps turning?
You
right
got
now? I
soft.
can't get this thing to do.
You got to be soft to get your way with them. You know what?
See how it just keeps that thing, that little icon just keeps turning. I can't get into my notes. Anyways, I know most of it anyway. There's only a few names and stuff on there that I need to look at. So here's the thing. Casey is a man who's afflicted. His girlfriend now, he's no longer married. He was married. Now, when he first reached out to me, he started talking to me, it was about 3 or 4 years ago. And then we didn't talk again for a while, and then he got back in touch with me. So here's the thing. He has an abduction scenario that's been going on and on and on since he was a child. When the abduction first started, he must have been really young. Like, he can't even remember it. It's just been a part of his life, his whole life. Thank you for those donations. We appreciate that. I think I missed some there. Joe Bonet, thank you for that. And Shadow, thank you for that too. Both of you guys, great people. Thank you. You helped carry the show. So he reached out to me and he says, look, man, I got a story, but I don't know how this fits together. He tried telling another person who was in the ufology, and they did not want to hear that other aspect of it. But as you know, here at PRT, we try to give everybody's aspect. We try to get into everybody's aspect, like all the aspects that they have to bring to the table, whatever part of the, and we talked about this last night with Sparky and Abe. It's all part of a greater whole. It is. One of the things that I noticed about this phenomena is it doesn't necessarily go hand in hand, but it does come up. And people think, you got it? All right, I appreciate it. People think that it is like it doesn't happen the way that it does happen that way. This man, the first time he was abducted, now get this, he remembers that he was 6 years old. How many times now have you heard me say that? That's a number that comes up. And now I've talked to a person that does a regression recently. She lives up in Utah, or not in Utah, in Idaho. And she was saying that she has like a little retreat up there, and she hypnotically regresses people. Now, her name is Sylvia, and I have not gotten back in touch with her. I want to get her maybe to come on the show, and maybe, I don't know how much people are going to want to hear about the hypnotic regression, but she said she could bring up a couple really powerful cases, but she can't. She has to get their permission. Now, I understand that. But, if you can't get people to give their permission, and then you're kind of like, you're telling their story, and they may know that you're talking about them. That's an issue with the hypnotic regression people. And I've met a few of them that were pretty good. They were on the up and up. She's one of them. She's not real big. She's very localized, and she's got like, a small little thing going there. She's not like interested in writing a book and being known by everybody in the world. And I think that she's pretty on the level. She's got a small following, and that's why she wants to keep it. The people that do follow her, though, one of them that reached out to me, his name was Jamie. Jamie got me in touch with this other guy. Okay. His real name is not Case, or it's not Casey. Okay. It's something close to it. So I came up with a name that would be close. So Jamie told me this. He says, look, there's a guy that has a really incredible story. We're in this support group up in Idaho. These people are from Idaho. He said, if I could reach out to this guy and Sylvia's okay with it, do you think you'd be okay with it? I said, okay. Sylvia had given me this guy to talk to. So I reached out to her first. I said, look, before I step on your toes, can you let me talk to this guy that we're going to call Casey? And she says, sure. Let me talk to him and his girlfriend. His girlfriend is the one that brought him to the retreat there in Idaho. And the retreat was something that was left to her by her father, who passed away, who was a lifelong abductee, and he was an admirer of Edgar Cayce. And in fact, she said that her dad could quote Edgar Cayce every session.
Jeez.
Can you imagine that? Now, I don't know. I'm not going to get into a whole thing about Edgar Cayce, but dude, the Sleeping Prophet, like, he had a ton of sessions, and this guy could quote them, according to her. And she's got recordings of him talking about case by case by case of Edgar Cayce. So Edgar Cayce we were talking a lot about him. So that's why I chose this guy's name to be Casey. I just said, let's just call him Casey. When this guy started coming in and talking, her dad was the one still in charge or helping her because he had lost his wife to cancer. So he wanted something to do. He was a retired mechanic, but he would go to sleep and have these dreams, right? And when he would wake up, he would tell people about their dreams that he had of them, and then they would happen. Unfortunately, some of the things he would tell people happened, and it was a little too real. People were like, oh my gosh, you told my uncle or whatever that he was going to have a car wreck. He did. And then people were like, well, it's your fault because you put it in his head. And this guy's like, no, I tell you what happens, and it happens. He even dreamed about his own death over and over again, and then he died just like he dreamed. He went to sleep, didn't wake up because he had a aneurysm. So he died in his sleep. What's crazy about that, though, he was 67 years old when he passed away. Sylvia has been doing this almost 20 years now on her own. She said that she believes, this is weird, that she's going to die the same age as her dad, which is really freaky. She's not there yet. So I hope she doesn't, because she's a nice person. I'm trying to convince her to come out into the public eye, but she says when you do things like that, it waters down the brand. And she's one of the people that has told me to keep my following small. Keep it smaller so that you can, whatever. But I told her, I said, in order to keep the show going, we need growth because we need to be able to pay the bills. Because you have to rent this place. It's like $900 a month to rent just the studio. We have an office too. So we have to, we can't just do this for free anymore. It's too much. We've been paying to play for a long time. But she said that she believed that I was a true teacher and that I had a lot to say. And then, unfortunately, she predicted, too, that I was going to be attacked until my death. And I was like, that's not comforting. Hopefully that one's – maybe she was wrong on that. Let's hope that she was wrong on that one. But what she did say, and I do agree, is I need a lot of prayer. We all do. But we need a lot of prayer. So She had said that this guy that when he first came to her, he was an abductee. She regressed him. A bunch of stuff came out. His first memory of being taken by as an alien abductee was when he was 6 years old, and he was holding his little brother's hand, and his little brother, luckily for him, had run back to the bedroom to grab a stuffed animal, but his little brother didn't want him to go alone. So they were going to be taken together. But fortunately, he said, I had a moment of clarity and I told these beings, just take me. Please leave my little brother alone. So his little brother didn't come back out of the bedroom. The next day, his little brother was asleep on the floor on the rug with his little teddy bear. Or it was a stuffed dog, whatever. Whenever he went into the room and he saw that, he felt a relief because he knew. He didn't remember what they did. He just remembers walking down the hallway with them. And he remembers being pleading with him not to hurt his little brother. These were quintessential grays. These basically the gray aliens, whatever. When he was 16, 10 years into this phenomena, he was being abducted about 2 times a year. He said, unfortunately, one of the times he was abducted was always like either in December or January. And he said that fortunately for him, it would happen after Christmas, like that week going into January.
Mm-hmm.
He said he was never happy to get whatever he got for Christmas. He had a happy home, happy, loving family, nothing, no abuse. But he goes, I could never be happy or comfortable because I knew that these beings were going to come and get me. And if they didn't do it in late December, they'd come and do it early January.
That's terrible.
They also, unfortunately, he was born in the summertime. And he says around late June, early July, they would abduct me then too, right around my birthday. So this poor guy had nothing to look forward to as a child other than these painful experiences he would have with these at the hands of these aliens, beings, whatever you want to call them. When he was taken, as he was 16 years old, he was taken aboard a craft. He remembers this specifically. He felt like there was another presence there that he could not see. There was something there. He couldn't see. He didn't know what it was. But then when he came back from the ship, he goes, there was something following me. Here's the thing. Here's where it gets kind of dicey, kind of weird. He was staying with his aunt, and she lived in Arizona, and he was down there on a ranch in Arizona at his aunt's husband's ranch. He said, my uncle was a really, really cool guy. He was a devout Christian. He's the one that introduced me to Christianity. My parents were very secular. They didn't really believe. My dad was like a drinker, It's just the facts. His mother was a good person, and his dad wasn't abusive. He provided, but he was a functioning alcoholic. If he wasn't at work, he was drunk. So he never got anything out of his dad other than a provider. But at least he did that. But by the time his dad was 60, he was already dying. By the time he was 62, he was gone. Drank himself to death. And it was a mercy because he said it was terrible. But his dad had lived a pretty good life. I mean, you lived to be 62 drinking for 40-something years. I mean,
Yeah.
But his mother was a very loving, kind, caring woman. She did all these food drives. She did all this stuff. He goes, one day, she comes into my bedroom. He goes, I was 14 years old. She sits on the bed and she tells him, she says, I'm not going to say his name, but she said his name, Casey. She said, Casey, are you having dreams, like weird dreams? Are you dreaming that something's happening to you? Like, are you feeling like you're being taken out of your bed at night? And he was in shock. He was like, Mama, do you know about this? And she says, yeah. She says, unfortunately, me and your aunt this has been happening to us our whole lives. And I think, unfortunately, you inherited that curse from us. Very, forlorn. At that point, he was very crestfallen because he knew that his mother had suffered like he had. He said, Mama, when does it quit? She goes, it doesn't. It doesn't stop. She's like, we're still going through it. She goes, and in fact, I remember what I thought might have been a dream, because sometimes she goes, it gets confusing. This is what she said. She goes, I'll have nightmares about the abductions. And then she won't know whether it's an abduction memory or a nightmare. So she said, I thought I saw you in one of these nightmares. but I think you were really there. So it was a very poignant conversation. She was very just kind of, it was sad. And she was just like, I have to say, she's like, I really was hoping against hope and praying that wasn't the case, that you were not a part of this. And he just looks at her and he said, I told my mother, I said, I am. And he goes, we had a good cry. And my Aunt Susie came over and we all talked. That's not her real name. This is what I'm calling her. But she came over and they talked. And so what ends up happening? He says, I have to keep going through my day-to-day life. I have to be a teenager. I played sports, played basketball, did all these things. I hunted, I fished, spent a lot of time outdoors. He goes, but I would be outdoors and then something would happen. I'd fall asleep and I'd wake up. And I didn't know if it was just me going unconscious or if I was being abducted more than the 2 times that I remembered every year. One of the times that he got abducted was very interesting. He woke up with some kind of beast sniffing around him. And he wakes up and he looks, there's nothing there. And he gets up and he's scared. He runs. What he told me, he says, when I was 16, something happened when I was out on my aunt's ranch. The first thing my uncle tells me is, this is what he said. He said, our ranch has a ghost, the ranch house, the main house. There were 4 houses on this ranch, big place. But he said that the main house has a ghost. He's like, and we have a name for it. His uncle playfully called him Belvedere. Weird. He said, I called him Belvedere. That was his nickname. That's what I like to call him. I got it from a TV show, blah, blah, blah. And he just said, okay, yeah. A lot of people don't know what that is. But he said that, he says, if you ask him to stop, he'll leave you alone. He said, so get used to that. Right. And he said he did. He was laying there on the couch one day. He was watching TV. He was watching a baseball game, and he said, I was always a Diamondbacks fan ever since they had been, and he went back to the World Series in 2001 when they beat the Yankees.
Right? Yeah. They're like
the
youngest
big
team
unit,
to do that,
and it was the big unit, and what's his name that went and helped the Red Sox, Sheffield, or not Sheffield,
Big Papa.
No, the pitcher, the one that tore his ankle. And then that video we watched about the documentary, now you're gonna make me think about it. Kurt Schilling, remember that the comeback? The documentary? He tore his ankle. They had to staple it back. Yeah, they the tendon so he could pitch. Yeah, Kurt Schilling, he's a big Kurt Schilling. She's like, I was watching TV and I was watching the Diamondbacks. He's like, and it was cool because my uncle had season tickets, so we went to watch them 2 or 3 times a month. It was pretty fun. He says, so I stayed there an entire summer and I worked. Did the same thing I did. Shoveled horse shit in barns and stables, whatever. His uncle told him, he says, let me tell you something, though. He goes, there's something evil in one of the outlying barns. We don't use that barn anymore. It's only for storage and equipment and feed. He goes, just when you go out there, be there and come back. That's it. He said he had a dog. The dog that was real friendly, real cool dog. He said Jojo would there was this bond he got. It was a border collie. We got border collies. We have a ranch too. And he said he's walking out there and Jojo's bouncing along, following him, and he goes, he had this little dirty tennis ball and he would throw it and he would pick it up, bring it back to him. He said he got within eye shot of that barn to go get some feed. They kept the 4-wheeler in there too. And he says, the dog begins to whine and kind of lay on the ground and kind of low crawl and then was rolling over on his back. And eventually the dog got up and just sat there, would not go any further. And he thought, man, maybe what my uncle's talking, maybe this is real. Maybe there is something there. So he already had this cold chill as soon as he was opening the door. He said, my uncle said there was something evil in this barn. And he says, at first I thought maybe it was psychosomatic. I was making myself hear this. Mm-hmm. He's like, I walk into the barn and I hear footfall. He goes, and then I hear this weird kind of noise behind me, like somebody kind of was sliding, He turns around real quick and he's like, somebody there? He goes, the ground was dirt. There wasn't no floor. It was the oldest outbuilding they had there. And literally this barn, he goes, it was built very well. The barn at that time was 80 years old. And he says, and so I go in there, he goes, and I start getting the feed, loading it up on the back of this ATV. They had this ATV with this big old cart. He's loading the feed up, getting ready to take it to the barn. And he says, there was something there. He said, I got in the ATV, I started it up. He goes, and I look in the rearview mirror. And it's one of those with the steering wheel, right?
Yeah.
He said, I look in the rearview mirror and I see something for a split second looking at me. And he's like, I know I saw what I saw. And he says, so I just said, okay, I don't know what that was. It looked like something black with horns, but it was very quick. Very quick. And he took off. He goes back to the main barn or whatever. And he unloads his feed. He gets one of the workers to help him. They start talking. This worker tells him, he says, did you go out to the outbuilding? Were you there by yourself? He goes, yeah, of course I did. That's how I got the feed, whatever. He goes, oh, well, there's another spot over here where we stockpile a bunch of the feed so we don't have to go. That's the surplus. He goes, well, nobody told me that y'all had moved it, whatever. So they started talking, and he goes, yeah, we all went over there together one day and just did it ourselves and loaded it over here to this other hangar. He goes, we don't like going in there by ourselves. And he goes, why is that? He goes, because there's something demonic there. And we'll call his uncle Chuck. He said, didn't Chuck tell you? And he says, well, yeah, Chuck told me, but Chuck says a lot of things, He said, yeah, but there is something there. He said, the first owners of this property, there used to be another building there. That's where the main house used to be. And the guy killed himself and his family. He went crazy. This guy was telling this story. He goes, I never verified. I don't know if it's true. He goes, but this guy was just old cowboy was telling him, he goes, the guy went nuts and literally murdered himself and his wife and his children. He was babbling about some kind of the devil coming and, He said, and then part of that, the back side of that is they took out the front part of it, everything, flooring, everything, left the shell, and then just put a big door on it and called it a barn. And he goes, oh, so that's why it looks kind of like half of a house. He says, yeah. Yeah. He said, that is where the old guy went crazy. And then what now, the barn was built 80 years ago. That happened years ago. The turn of the century. He lived out there. He goes, and by the 20s, he had lost his freaking mind and he did what he did. So he says, okay. He says, so they remodeled it, they did whatever. And this was the year like this, when all this was going down. He said, I had this feeling of like really, really good things were going to happen. He's like, but then halfway through the year, I thought, no, that was false. This wasn't a good year. Bad things were going to happen to me. He's what he thought. And he said the only thing that was awesome that he really enjoyed was that he was away from his house and he hadn't had the abduction scenarios. This goes back to what I said on one of the recent episodes about how if somebody is married to somebody that they really care about, they can be strong enough in the faith to stop the abductions. That's my opinion. I'm not saying that's a fact. Don't take it to the bank. Go, Josh Turner said, I'm not going to have abduction if I find a good wife or a good husband or whatever. This is what happened to her, his aunt. His aunt was living there on that ranch with Chuck. The abduction stopped. The good thing about Chuck, they were eating dinner one night. And he tells him, he says, young man, your mama tells me that you have visitors that come to you. And he says, yes, sir. That's true. And he says, well, that ain't going to happen here. And he says, why is that? He says, I'm going to show you something. He gets up. Dinner's almost over anyway. They go and they walk into the study. He says, I'm like trying to eat my last 2 bites of steak. Cowboys live on a different time. They live on cowboy time. It's a whole different world.
Yeah.
He takes him to the next room. And he says, this book right here. And he opens up the Bible. And he gives them all these passages to read from Old Testament, New Testament, everything. He said, I'm going to give you some homework. He said, tomorrow I'm going to have somebody else clean the stables. I want you to sleep in. You wake up and you read those passages and you tell me what you think of each one. He said that when he read, he goes, there were like 30 of them. He goes, I couldn't remember them all. There were so many. But the one that stuck with him the most was John 3:16. He said, of course, this is the first time I'd ever really read it. And he said that Jesus, that God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believes in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. He said, we talked about that. We talked about all these different passages in the Bible. He said, it was the shepherd's psalm, the Lord's prayer, everything. And he said, and he drilled it in my head. He told me, you're going to learn about godliness. He says, because these things that come out of the sky, I don't know if they're demons, the way we think they're demons, or they're just flying in craft and they're demons. But they're demons. They're evil. He said, and there is a way to neutralize these things. He goes, and it is through God. 100% I believe this guy changed his life. His dad, like I said, was a drunk. Here's his uncle trying to help him, change him, turn him, whatever. It's not blood uncle, it's uncle by marriage. But he treated him more like a son than anybody ever had, other than his grandpa. His grandpa died when he was a young teenager, a couple years before. He said, man, this guy, he took the place of my grandpa, my mother's dad. His grandfather knew about the abductions. He witnessed his own daughters being taken away and woke up and remembered it and was a man of faith. And so at night, whenever his grandfather had kind of gotten to where he could kind of tell when it was going to happen, he would take them all, the whole family, and put them all in a closet. And he would stand out in front of the closet. And it seemed to work. They would wake up and everything would be normal. He goes, but my mother would never sleep. She would just be the only one awake. And she could hear her dad out there pacing back and forth. And then the next day, her dad, this is Casey's grandfather, would have the worst headaches. He would just roll around in agony. It was like these aliens were doing something to him. He would bleed from his nose, and he would have like pain in his eyes. Eyes would bulge out. His face would swell up so bad. She's like, I thought my daddy's eyes were going to pop out of his head. It was horrible. But this guy, he's like, he learned from his grandfather. They're out fishing. He told his grandpa about it. His grandpa grabbed his fishing rod and he says, I'm getting old and I can't protect you much longer. He goes, my time is almost up. Because he knew he was going to die. And he told him, he said, look, man, you're going to have to be strong because there's nothing we can do because these beings, and he said that he knew that this was going to happen. There was nothing he could do. But the fact that he kind of knew when he was going to die, it just the way, like, it was like he picked his time.
Yeah.
And he said, I like Chuck. He told him. She'd only been with him for a couple of years. They hadn't gotten married yet. But he said, I know that Susan needs to make the right decision and marry that guy because he's a true believer. He's in the faith. And he can protect you. So he was instrumental in talking his mama into letting him go and live and work on the ranch as a teenager. First, it was just in the summertime, and then he moved down there, and they had their own little system down there. They had a homeschool and everything. And he just said, you know what? And then he got into rodeo and doing all kinds of other stuff. Calf roping. I mean, if you want to call that rodeo, and I don't, but whatever. My cousin Donnie be like, what? No, calf ropers are part of the rodeo. They're just they're like the cheerleaders.
They're just not as cool as the Bronc Busters or the Bull Riders.
Yeah, they're just cheerleaders. They're just there to be like, woo, I know about 10 people will kill me right now and hear me say
they're the high steppers.
No, man, I don't give them that much credit. No, calf roping's a skill. It is. It really is a skill. I mean, I could make a lasso and I could throw one over a calf's head. I couldn't do the feet. But hey, I could lasso a calf. Hey, at least I could do that. I practiced. All right. I worked on a ranch when I was young. So here's what happened. He starts rodeoing and he gets real into it, whatever. He's 16 years old. He gets abducted. He's off of the ranch at this time. He's not there. He's back home up in Idaho. Well, his home became Arizona, but he gets abducted. Something followed him from that barn. He goes, I promise you, whatever that was, it came with me. He's like, years later, I'm being abducted. He goes, and I remember this. It was the first time I was ever introduced to these. They were gray too, but they weren't the grays. They were like these tall gray. The only way you could describe them is like they were ashen skinned, reptilian like. But he said they didn't have scales. They kind of looked like their heads kind of looked weird. They looked like they were ripped like lizards, but they were just like they had this, like there was supposed to be fur on them or something. He goes, I don't know how to describe it. But that he was convinced that they were a type of reptilian. But they had this weird skin. He goes, and they were talking to these grays. They were using this communication they did with their brains. He said, I could see them going back and forth. That's what he called it. It's called telepathy. He said they were going back and forth. They were talking to each other. And one of them goes walking over to the corner of the room. And he stands there for a minute. They had these masks on. They were doing this procedure, like they were moving his implant. Mm-hmm. Something that I talked to Truth about recently. He believes that it happened to him. And we're about to do some recording with him this weekend. Then we're going to release it next week. Truth and Bass talking about some of the work that they've done with the alien abduction phenomena. We're going to do a show on that. It's going to be released on Spotify and on YouTube, pre-records. And it's going to be free. But he said that they were going to the corner of the room. And I told this story on ABC's show, at least this part of it. And he said that he goes, I opened my eyes and I looked, there was this black mass, like a shadow. He goes, and it was hovering there in the corner. And I thought, am I seeing this correctly? Or what is that? It's moving around the room. And these aliens, they kept like stopping and looking around like something was there. Like they knew something was there, but they couldn't see it. So a couple of them, one of the tall grays and one of these weird gray reptilian looking creatures, walks over to the corner of the room, and they're both with their masks off, just kind of like looking around, and they don't see anything. And so they just walk back over to the table, and he goes back to sleep. When he wakes up at this point in time, this was when he was like already in his 20s. He wakes up. He had just gotten married to this girl he had met on the ranch. He said, we were living right outside of the city, like outside of Tucson. He said, there was this weird, like, I don't even know how to describe it. He goes, like, I had this terrified feeling. He goes, and I woke up and I'm like with my hands on the sink. There's these two sinks. One's my wife, one's mine, you know, we're living in this big house. And he goes, and I'm too afraid, I'm too terrified to stand up. I can't stand up. I just got to sit there. And I asked him, I said, why were you just sitting there? He says, dude, I was terrified. If I stood up, I thought that whatever was there that had been following me for the last several years, that it was going to be in the mirror and it was going to grab me and take me. And I was like, okay. I said, so this guy, Casey, he was so afraid that he couldn't stand up. That's a horrible thing. He goes, Wolf, I sat there for like an hour, maybe more. It felt like it. He goes, and I'm naked. And I look over, my door's just barely open to the bathroom. I can see my wife asleep. He's like, and so I decided to make a break for it. I let go and I started crawling out of the room, and I didn't look back because I thought whatever was there was watching me through the mirror. So he goes, he gets into the bed. Something appears at the foot of the bed like a black mass. And he just covers his head. He goes, it was horrific. I had to go through this. A few months later, he was in his car and he's looking in the mirror and he sees this being behind him. The first time and only time he really got a good look at it since that first time he saw it in the mirror on the ATV when he was a teenager. Mm-hmm. And he goes, and I see it. It has like a black face. But it's got these like weird horns that come off the bottom of its jaw and they go up. But it's not like tusks. They're not in the mouth. Mm-hmm. And then he goes, and then there's these horns that come down from the head. Like they go down. And he said this thing looked like it had a huge, big forehead with all these nodules on it. He goes, and it leaned forward. He goes, and it scared the living crap out of me, man. He goes, and I felt like he goes, I just didn't. He goes, at one point, he goes, I was in my car He goes, and I wanted to end my life. He goes, I was sick of the abductions. I was sick of this demonic entity hanging around me. He's like, and it was so creepy that even these aliens knew that there was something there. Now, here's something, we're going to talk about that a little more in depth. We're going to get into that. But he said he was there. He was going to kill himself right before this alien appeared to this demon, right? And this thing said, go for it, do it. Like it was talking to him. He looks up in the mirror and he sees it. So the terror from that inadvertently stopped him from ending his life. So he goes, I get out of the car. The only good thing was that maybe it stopped me from doing it.
Yeah.
He said, but these aliens, they kept coming to me. He goes, but then when they would come to get me, he's like, they had these lights and they were looking around my room. Like they were looking to see if this thing was there. Now, he asked me the question if I'd ever dealt with something like that. And I said, yes, absolutely. Here at PRT, we did have somebody. Remember that guy that said that demon attacked the alien?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Sentinels.
The Sentinels.
Called it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I told him to go back and listen to that episode. He messaged me back. He was freaked out. He goes, dude, I'm sitting here at work and I'm freaked out. He sells insurance now, but I told him, I said, look, he's like, he's wants to go back and work, on the ranch and just kind of immerse himself back into that life. His uncle's still there. He's still alive, but I told him, I said, do you feel like that? He goes, the only time I ever felt like I was safe was there, but I got married to this girl and she wanted to move away and move near Tucson. And we did. He goes, big mistake. And he said that she ended up leaving me. She cheated on me and divorced me because she said I was a head case.
Mm.
And then she started having these weird dreams of me being abducted. It was just like his mom. She was seeing it.
Yeah.
And I said, you couldn't explain to her? And they're like, no, it didn't work. What I'm going to tell y'all about this is what happened to this guy. It sounds crazy, but it's not that crazy. It's not that, well, it is crazy, but it's not that far-fetched to think that multiple people have experienced this. Because an alien abduction, just like a Bigfoot encounter or a Dogman encounter, or any of these other stuff, I believe opens the door to other crap. How many times have we heard of people being abducted and it goes lockstep with them having all kinds of other weird experiences?
Yeah.
But they don't really put two and two together. They don't think that these demons are, they think that it's part of the symptoms of being an abductee. It is, but it's also something that can happen. You can get an attachment. And these aliens, they don't give a shit. They don't care what they're causing you. And it is, to me, a vibrational thing. I think that those vibrations that they use with those implants could be, causing these entities to come toward them. And they have this spiritual opening that's big because of the abductions and the pain that they go through. That's my opinion. I don't know if that's the whole enchilada, but that has to be part of it.
Yeah, the trauma can be an opening.
Absolutely. Corley, that's actually a very interesting statement there. Corley, I haven't seen you in a while. What's going on, brother? What if aliens are one of God's previous creations who have a better understanding of demons and the origin and relationship with our creator? Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Robert Badger says, the man had a demonic attachment. The aliens knew it. Yeah. I would say so. Or they knew that something was aboard their ship, right? They knew something was there.
Mm-hmm.
If you go back to that episode about the Sentinel, those aliens that were there in that guy's room, they knew that something was there in his room. And they were kind of sensing it, and then they got attacked. And then it attacked them to the point where, if I remember correct, didn't they like stop abducting him or something? Like, yeah. I don't remember. I mean, but it was bad. I mean, but these beings can be horrible in the things that they do, their machinations that they're involved in.
It's like they're fighting over their prey, and their prey is you.
Yeah. Yeah. No matter who wins, you lose.
Yeah.
You're going to be dinner either way. Yeah. And Sparky says, well, that could be. Like I was talking to you and Abe about crystals, vibrations, and energy can draw or push things away, in my opinion. So while we got people in here right now, we only got about 432 people. It's not the biggest crowd, but hey, it's a crowd. And so let's do a giveaway. If you haven't won anything and you're the first person that says I haven't won, well, you win. What are we giving away? A t-shirt, hat? What do you want to do?
Let me see how many hats we have left.
We have plenty. We got plenty, believe me.
Yeah, because we can start giving away more of these hats. A hat you can wear every day.
Clover's Good Luck says, I haven't won. Well, you just won. Okay, now here's the thing. Where it is. There it is. Giveaways at prtpodcast.com. Giveaways at prtpodcast.com. That is how you're going to get your stuff.
Yeah.
Giveaways at prtpodcast.com.
Just make sure you catch the instructions at the bottom of the screen.
Mm-hmm.
You
So
just
your
follow
name,
that.
address, and shirt size.
Mm-hmm. You just follow those instructions if you want anything, and you'll get your stuff.
So we're going to do another giveaway in a little while, then we'll do another one at the end. So before we go any further and we start going into all kinds of other stuff, what do you think? What is your opinion? What do you, because I mean, Tony's not here to give his opinion, obviously, but you.
I think that so these things they have like different levels. I mean, like they have different levels of intelligence, different levels of consciousness, and different, but also differing agendas. Like these entities that are these alien entities that are kidnapping him. They may not necessarily be demonic in and of themselves. The demonic is a specific thing that they could still be evil, and what they're doing is absolutely evil. But like maybe to them, their motives could just be like in the same way that we would like dissect the frog in high school or something. It's just like it's a strictly just like you're an experiment, you know.
Yeah.
But for this other thing, this demonic looking whatever the thing is, thing is that he saw twice now. I mean that's gonna have. I think that's gonna have a different agenda. I think that just wants to like devour his soul, parasitize it completely. Like
well,
it's not interested in anything at all.
It followed him from that barn,
Mm-hmm.
and to me,
they're opportunistic,
very parasitic and opportunistic. Yeah, to me, it's always that what came first, chicken or the egg. It's like the William DeFeo.
Yeah.
Now he is from Amityville Horror. He murdered his family. And he said, you know, one of the things that he said was that a demon was talking to him and telling him to do this. Then the Lutzes move in. Now, the people after them didn't have the same issues, but the Lutzes had. Why was that? Well, Chris Garrettano has been on the show a few times. One of the things that Chris said, and he's a filmmaker, and you guys have seen his work. He's got a bunch of shows he's done. What is it? Montauk Chronicles, and the other one is
Haunting We Will Go.
Haunting We Will Go. He's gonna
Dark Files.
Well, Haunting We Will Go is about to be released.
Yeah,
he's gonna at the Blondes and Booze conference, Crossing Realms. He's going to debut that. I wish I could go, but like I said, I don't want to be assassinated or have anybody around me be hurt because of anything of me being there. So forget it. But so you know, one of the things that Garrettano says, he always pointed this out. The DeFeo murders happened. The Lutzes move in. The Lutzes kept the beds that they died in.
What do you expect?
Like, what do you think is going to happen? Well, the next people move in. They're like, would you like to keep these dead people's beds? No. I don't want to go through what those people went through. So no, after that, they said nothing has happened. Right? Who knows what went on? But these entities will attach to people, and you could just be the next traveler in line. I have talked to multiple alien abductees who claim that they've had a lot of weird stuff happen to them beyond the abductions. People who literally I'm close to. And I've said this before. I've dated 3 people who've been those. I said this on another show. These people have had the ability to see things and hear things, and it's not just them because I'll be there and I'll hear it and see it too. So if they're crazy, I'm
Mhm.
crazy because I'm going, and you know, Anthony, you've heard it too. And, you know, you knew one of them before Nellie.
Yeah.
And there was some weird stuff there. There was an implant that came out in the sink. Nothing happened according to them while we were together. One of them said after we went our separate ways, about 6 months later, it started up again. See, she'll stay with me. I'm joking. Actually, I'm glad she didn't, because if she would have, I wouldn't have met Melanie. And I'm the one that walked away. So, and I felt the guilt about it, you know, but I had to do what I had to do for me, because it was, I don't know that the abduction thing was causing any of it or whatever, the problems, but it definitely didn't help that woman's psychological mindset to have been an abductee, being in a field in Pennsylvania when she first got abducted, and then again in the Poconos, it happened.
Yeah.
So that it was a lot of stuff. Weird thing though about that, and here's the weird thing. Like I said before on the show, me and Scorpion used to work with a woman. I don't know if is he in the chat? I don't see him. But I know me and Scorpio used to work with a woman at this startup company. It was a computer company.
Mhm.
And she was an abductee. And get this, her and her sister were abducted in the Poconos.
Hmm.
That's a weird thing.
Yeah.
There's always this weird, like, synchronicities, you know, that follow all of this, which always tells me that we're living in, like I said before, like some kind of simulation or something where things repeat. Not in a simulation like everything's a hologram, but this is a biological simulation. You know what I mean? And yeah, see, Scorpio says, yeah, yes, I'm here. I remember her. Yeah. And so anyway, that woman tried to convince me that the Dogman I had seen was a alien. And I was like, yeah, because no, it's not. Okay. I didn't try to convince her that what she had seen was a bunch of cryptids.
Yeah.
You know? But the ghost people will do that too. When we were at the conference, you probably know what I'm talking about too. She was trying hard to convince me that it was a ghost.
Mm-hmm.
She said, well, what you saw, she's going to be psychic. I'm not going to put her on the spot because I don't believe what she was saying, but she tried to tell me that what I saw was a person who was a spiritual werewolf. They could go out of their body as a spirit. And that maybe that's what that was, or it was a person who had died,
mm-hmm.
and now they were taking the form of a werewolf. She kept trying to convince me of that, and I'm trying to get me to take her book and all that stuff. And I was like, yeah, I'm like I said, I'm not going to put her on the spot, but I was talking to Krista and Brandy about it later, and Monica Rollins. We were all sitting at the table talking, and in Tex, but Tex was so drunk. He was having a great time. I told him, I said, look, man, I respect her opinion on that, but this has happened to me before. People from the ghost community, people from the UFO community, and they'll try to convince you that you are in their wheelhouse.
Yeah.
I say this, it doesn't matter. It's not your wheelhouse or my wheelhouse. You know, it doesn't matter whose house. It's just that it is what it is, because we're all in this together. That's why I think that Crossing Realms conference is so important. I hope they get a huge crowd. I hope it does gangbusters. And we need to do one of these every year. If it's not us doing it like it was for a couple of years, and now I'm glad that they took up the mantle. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure my public speaking days are over because I'm constantly being threatened. And I'm not a big shot like Charlie Kirk, and I'm not a right-wing activist or whatever. But watching the video, I watched the full video. I mean, dude, oh my gosh.
It's horrific.
I don't want to be sitting up there talking and just, you know, because I've literally done that. I've been there right on the stage and had the microphone, you know, and the next thing you know, you're being, you know, taken out of this world by some lunatic because they don't like what you say, or some maniacs have lied about what you say, because these people lie about what I've said and done. And these other people who aren't you people, most of you, there's a few stalkers in there, I know that. Most of you aren't sitting here watching me so you can pick apart everything I say so you can destroy me. But these people do that. They do that. Imagine what it's like to live under that pressure. And then thinking that at any time, another reason why we want to leave the studio is because some of these lunatics know where we're at. Now, I'm protected in here. I got things that can protect me. But you don't know somebody could get the drop on you.
Mm-hmm.
And so when somebody threatens you like that, and they've threatened you overtly and inadvertently in every kind of way, I'm going to tend to believe it. I mean, yeah, this person probably will kill me. If they want to get a hold of me, they probably will. Now, am I going to sit up here, live my life? I'm just terrified. I'm a little, do I live my life like that?
No.
Hell no. But do I want my head blown off or get shot in the neck or in the chest or whatever the hell it is? Because even a bulletproof vest wouldn't have saved Charlie. I had somebody say that. One of my friends was like, well, you got vests. Yeah, I'm a security professional. So what? Yeah, I know what happens. Somebody can be anywhere up there and they could do something to you, or they're just going to walk up and just quickly do something to you. I don't want to live my life and then die like that. I got too much to do. There's too many cases that we got to cover. There's too many things to do. Charlie had too many things to do. But people don't care. As long as they get you and you shut up and don't talk, that's all that matters. That's all they care about. So I don't want some crazy person doing something like that to me. That's why I didn't do the conference last year. And you can thank that fella up in Oklahoma and his buddies for that. Because if he would never have started the crap he did, we wouldn't be where we're at. And no, I am not trying to incite violence in any way upon any of these men and women. If you were to go and do something to these people, you don't do it in my name, and you're dead to me. I don't want anybody trying to hurt these people or messing with these people or threatening these people in any way, any shape or form. We don't play like the enemy does. The enemy, they do that. Let them do and say what they're going to do. Give them enough rope, you know the rest. We don't do that. Here at PRT, we don't condone the acts of violence. Yes, at one time in my life, I was a different person, and I did do violence. I don't do it now, and I haven't for a long time. It's not my thing. Like, I'll fight if I have to, sometimes on the job, whatever I have to deal with people. Somebody's tried to attack us recently, and I had to defend us. I had somebody try to attack us at the gym. Stupid, crazy stuff. It was really breaking something up, and then I had to, But I don't condone anybody doing anything like that. That is illegal and it is immoral above all else. And I don't believe in any of that. I don't believe in taking the law in your own hands. That's what we have police officers for. That's what they're there for. When somebody tries to say to me at work, I just walk away from them, call the police. If they come up, like this one guy did, try to grab me, grab my phone or whatever, that's not going to work. It's not going to work for me. But by the same token, you can defend yourself. But that's for me not to put myself in that position because I don't need that. Okay? I don't want to be like, oh, he was known for this or that. Nah, dude, I want to be here so I can keep putting out the information and kicking the knowledge that needs to be kicked out to you. So that's it. Jessica says, good versus evil and God held me down. Yeah. God will get you back. I think that's what you're trying to say. Brandix says, scars on your knuckles, a scar between your eyes. You see the scars? Yeah, I try to hide them. I got one right here. If I pull my eyebrow, it'll separate a little bit there, but I always try to keep it straight. I don't want to look weird, look like Vanilla Ice. But, and the thing is, too, like, people are going to do what they're going to do. You're not going to stop these people by talking and being nice and whatever. We've prayed for them. We've talked to, they say God said not to pray for us. Well, I don't know what God they serve. I have an idea. But I know it's not the God that I serve because the God that I serve is never going to go, hey, don't pray for people. That is not the true Christian way to be. That's not the way to be. And so, I stick by that. Back to this thing with the alien abduction and these entities. Now, we have covered a case that happened near Mount Bonnell years ago. I think this was over like a decade and a half. This guy claims, and he was Indian by birth, from India, did not grow up around here, that he saw this being that looked like a manta type creature, whatever, and that it had two werewolf looking companions. They were a little bit shorter, smaller than it. But they were acting much like they were together. And he believes that he was part of an abduction. And I believe I've covered that one on the show. We're not going to get deep into that one, but that's one. But there have been multiple others. There have been people who've told me. I talked to Jody Cook about this. He interviewed a guy one time in a bar, and Jody and me are good friends, and he's the head of the NADP. And he had this guy that came up to him and told him that there was these Dogman creatures that he's been looking for are a type of alien species, and that they were seeded here. Now, I have heard other people talk about the Bigfoot phenomena in the same way, that they are a type of species that were seeded here, but not completely, because there was something else that was here. And some people believe that these creatures came from the inner earth. Others believe that they were something that had been genetically modified or mutated. But what was the original origin of them? Where did they come from? Is there a species of dog-headed, wolf-headed creatures that live out there in the far reaches of space that know how to get to us through the use of stargates? These two guys from Iraq I talked to, one of them, he told me some weird stuff, that happened to him. He told me that he believed it was in Ramada, basically. He said that, Ramadi, he says, he goes, the one of the worst battles I ever fought was there. And he said that he believed that these entities that he had seen were working for the enemy. What I mean by that is, like, they had summoned these demon-like entities that were like jinn. And when they were coming in and out of our reality, they were like shadows or wisps, and their bodies were forming and turning into these like Dogman-like creatures, get down on their fours and go in different directions. He also introduced me to a guy. That dude had a crazy ghost story that happened to him in Fallujah. This guy, he's the one that introduced me to the second guy's the one that introduced me to the dude who claimed to have seen the creatures in the stargates that came out of the stargates. And that was underground. It was a base that they had built underground. Something that these people, obviously, look at my notes. So something that these people believe had happened, and that not only did these people believe that what had happened was, I mean, how do I word this? These soldiers believe that they were not there to Operation Freedom or whatever. That wasn't Iraqi freedom, had nothing to do with it. That they were there to gain artifacts and ancient knowledge of the Sumerian culture, and particularly the Babylonian. And so whenever they were there, this base that was underground had obviously been built. And if it was there under the city of Baghdad, it was probably already there for a long time. It wasn't something that was dug out and made real quick, no. These people, the Iraqis already had it there, and they probably were working with the Americans during the war with Iran. That's what one guy told me. He believed this. He believed, dude, he goes, I think that they were already there. He goes, I heard the higher ups talking about it. And it's not something that he feels safe, with having the knowledge of the information. He's like, I always feel like I'm going to be abducted by them, and taken, because I shouldn't know these things. And I reassured him. I said, you're not the only person that's talked about this. Believe me. Now, I haven't had a whole bunch of people talking to me about it, but I've got a lot of friends in this community, and they have talked about having connections that have talked about these bases that were underneath the ground in Iraq. And so, yeah, this is something that has probably been there for a long time. There is a demonic and a spiritual nature to the abduction scenarios that take place. I believe this with all my heart. You're never going to convince me that it's not all connected. And the more pushback I get from people who are trying to, and some of these people I know they're shills. It ain't about whether I think they are or whatever. I know they are. 100%. And so I think that what happens is these people experience these things, and then eventually years later, even though they sign these, NDAs or whatever, I think they just start talking about it. They're like, to hell with it, because like Joel had said on the show the other night, that these people will literally talk about this stuff on their deathbed. They'll just come out and say it. Because at that point, what do you got to lose? If you're going to die and you are, why not just give all the information you have? Unless you're worried about your family. Well, that's another one, because they'll take your family and threaten them. And, oh, well, you know what? You're going to talk about this? We're going to make sure you go over without saying a bunch of stuff. But if you're one of those people that doesn't have a lot of family or anything, I mean, why not? But there's another thing to that. Somebody who gets involved with all of this and who doesn't have people that care about them, that doesn't have people that are going to care if you live or die, you ain't gonna be around. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I do not believe you will stay around. I believe that they will get rid of you very quickly. That's my opinion. But there's somebody out there that everybody loves and cares about and is close to. And that's why it's important to foster good relationships with people. So if something ever does happen to you, it's not done in vain. There's somebody that's going to go, hey, I cared about so-and-so. He was a good guy, and I don't think this is right. He's missing, and they'll make a fuss about it, and maybe, just maybe, there'll be some justice. But you got to remember something else, too. There is a very lacking. There's a lot of there's a void, if you will, a lacking of true justice in this world. And a lot of people have said this to me. They're like, Wolf, I just feel like there's nothing. The good guys never win. There's no justice for the good people. You have to be the catalyst for that. You have to be the voice. You have to speak up. You have to be the hammer. You have to tell these people, we are not going to take this bullshit. We're not going to take these excuses, these lies. Don't do it. Don't take it lying down. My advice to you, to always remember how strong you really are and that you have a voice. And don't ever think that you're alone, because God is always with you. I know that's a cliche, and people say, well, that's, if a demon, a low-level minor demon, can follow you around from a ranch in Arizona, then why couldn't the Father of Christ, the God of the creator of all things, the God creator of all things, why would he not be able to be with you? He's omnipotent. These beings aren't. They're powerful. They can jump from one place to the next, but that doesn't make you powerful. It makes you cunning. God is the true power in this universe. And one day soon, everyone's going to know it. Everyone's going to see it. Things cannot go on the way they are. Good will always reset the balance of the chaos that evil has bestowed upon us. Believe that. That's my word to you. It will happen. Evil will have its day. And maybe this lady's right. Maybe I will be attacked until the day I die. But when my day comes, at least I have a more comfortable feeling of knowing that I did what was right. Unlike these reprobates who don't care about the message that we try to give, the help that we try to give to people, the message we try to send out to people. They don't care about it. They don't care if it's right, wrong, or nothing. All they care about is their anger, their hate, and their vengeance. Mm-hmm. And it always makes me laugh when somebody wants revenge for something that they actually started and did and set into motion.
Yep.
How does that work? How do you go about the business of revenge when you attack this person and you did all the horrible things you could do, and then that person gives you something back, and now you want revenge? How does that work?
It's because evil thinks it's entitled to hurt people with no consequences.
Yeah. There you were minding your own business, which is being in everyone's business and starting crap with people when you got bitch slapped. That's like a bear going into a honeycomb and tearing up the hive to get what it wants,
Mm-hmm.
and then pissed off because the bees sting his ass and he runs away. He goes back in the woods and he sulks. Freaking bees. I hate these bees. These piss me off. How dare them sting me for trying to destroy everything? I'm going to get them. I'm going to get these bees.
Yeah.
I don't care what it takes. So he goes to all the other animals and says, you know what? Hey, let me talk to you about the bees. Those bees, they stung my, look at my face. Look what they did to me. And this other animal's like, well, your face is pretty messed up. You know, why did you get stung? I was just walking by and they were jealously guarding their honey, which I didn't want. And they attacked me. They stung me all over my face.
For no reason.
For no reason. And then this other animal's like, whoa, that's horrible. Those bees are assholes. Why? They just stung you for no reason? Yeah, just no reason at all. And this other animal comes up and was like, aren't you a predator? Aren't you always chasing people? Shut up, deer, before I do something to you right now. I'm an omnivore. Oh, yeah, that's right. You're an omnivore. So you're covered in honey. The badger didn't bother to ask us, but I got to ask a question. Were you messing with those bees? No. Then it attacks the deer.
They're all sticky.
The deer runs off with a big gash on it, and the deer's like, look what that bear did. And then this other animal comes up, a rabbit, you know, it's like, yeah, I heard the whole commotion, and like there was a hive of bees that it was attacking. I don't know. I'm just going to try to stay out of it. And the deer's like, well, it attacked me. Next thing you know, the badger's over there trying to figure out what's going on with the honey. He gets too close because he's, you know,
doesn't care.
He gets attacked. He runs back to the bear. Yeah, you're right. Those bees are assholes. We both got attacked for doing nothing wrong. Nothing at all. The bear's like, right. We should build a coalition. We should go and tell all the animals of the forest and lie about what happened to us. And the badger's like, well, probably shouldn't lie. Let's not call it lying. Let's call it, you know, misinterpretation of the facts. But the facts will become what we keep repeating. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Let's do that. And they go get the fox. And they do the same thing. The fox goes over there. He gets his ass stung. Really what he wants is the honey. The honey is you guys. In fact, Mr. Nunley even called this a honey pot. Well, if it's a honey pot, why don't you keep your furry ass out of it? And you won't get stung. And then you wouldn't have a badger and a fox and a cat and all kinds of other stuff hanging around saying that the same thing happened to them. Because if you ask the deer and the antelope and the buffalo and the rabbit, they all got attacked by you too. Because you don't just go and mess with the bees, the honeybees. You mess with them. You mess with everybody. And then you spin it. Oh, us poor predators were just there minding our own business, being predators. Yeah, it didn't work out so good, did it? Well, that stag, he just jacked me right in the face with those antlers. For no reason, right? He was just, the elk sought you out for combat.
Yeah.
He just said, I'm a honorable, tough stag. I'm also an asshole. Let me find a bear to go and attack and a wolf. Where are they at? Where are you at? Because we all know that elk are just notorious for seeking out combat with large, fanged and clawed predators. And then you go, oh, you got me in my eye. What was your eye doing there? Because my money is on the elk not having messed with you at all. This is what I'm talking about, folks. This is the community right here. You go and you smack somebody, then you go and cry about them smacking you, and then you take it a step further and make silly posts about how the people that you've been smacking for the last 2 years are crying while they smack you. And now nobody knows how it really started or who smacked who first, but I can promise you, I remember, I do. You did it. You attacked Abe and Bettina, Mr. McKee. You were watching us last night, and you were so angry because Sparky made a hell of a video about you. I thought it was funny. And the one with Jerry and Ella Williams, granted, I haven't watched the whole thing, but I thought it was pretty damn good, too, pretty funny. And what happened? You went and stole somebody's material, and you got caught. Once again, in the real honeypot, you got caught. So what do? You go and you lick your wounds, and you go and you cry to Brother Larry. Former Texas lawman, Brother Larry.
Former law enforcement.
Let me tell you what happened. My wife's criminal record was photoshopped. No, it wasn't. I personally didn't put it on there. I didn't have nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with that.
She reads the Bible 4 hours a day.
Yeah. But the criminal record is there, Brother Larry. I'm going to be nice and not even say what it was about. Clue. But you, as a former lawman, you'll get it figured out, right? Walker, Texas Ranger Walker. And the cosplayer of the LBL with the 2 dots for eyes.
Like a South Park Canadian.
Yeah, he'll come out with his 80-pound sword. And like Joe Doyle said, how are you going to swing that sword around without cutting your arms off? Because apparently he used to do that sword play, like for real, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so Joe Doyle said, dude, there's no way that he should be swinging a sword that heavy. We tried to tell him about it. He's like, oh, no, just have a Coke and a smile and shut up. Sure. And then you get diabetes. But it wasn't diabetes, folks. It was a magic spell that was cast by us.
Yes, we use chicken bone magic.
Because everybody knows that Jesse's a devout spell casting witch.
Yeah.
So we went to her and we said, Jesse, we're tired of them messing with our honey. You have a spell that'll make their, I don't know, make their lips fall off or something dark side. I got one for that. And she began doing the spells and the smoke. I was terrified. There was so much green and blue smoke. It was everywhere. Yes, and Nellie was dancing around with Maddie and Christy and Krista and Brandy. They were doing a conga line of evil.
They were like those space witches on Dune.
Space witches. There you go.
Yeah.
And the Black Cauldron had it was the smoke and fire and whatever. Monica Rollins showed up in her room. She's like, don't forget about me, gals. And she ran over there and started dancing around. You know. That was actually an episode that they did together. They did an episode together.
Yeah.
It was all witchcraft. It was all chain lightning and so fire.
Women, what was reading and doing math? Witchcraft.
What can do math? Huh? And so this spell was so powerful that the blood sugar levels of this cosplayer of the LBL went so high he ended up in the infirmary. Where the doctor comes out and he's like, seems like you're probably drinking 2 12-packs of Coke a day. Mr. Nully, your blood is literally 80% sugar. What? Well, I'll tell you what, Doc, they done put the curse on me. Did all kinds of stuff. He looks down at his pants. Damn! It's gone. No, Mr. Nully, it's just really small. You need to stop with all of this. This is not healthy at all. Well, I'll tell you right now, I'm not blind because it's anything other than them putting the curses and spells on me. Eye of newt, tongue of toad. I know they did this to me. Hair of dog. It was horrible. And then Jerry and Ella show up, and Jerry comes in, and he's like, skinwalking medicine man. Ooh, we're going to do some more spells. He's got a staff. He's swinging it around, drinking wampum and brandy. You know, he's out of there, man. He's crazy. And, you know, they put the curses on him. He's skinwalked away. Abe showed up as an owl, as the brujo. He comes in. He's ready to rock and roll too. Spells, curses, everything. Horrible. Amazingly, these people have so many spells and curses put on them, they become the laughing stock of the community because of the spells and curses. It was basically a Kiss concert, minus the groovy tunes. Just a bunch of crazy, weird screaming, hooping, and hollering. The PRT soldiers show up. Oh, wee, oh. Oh, oh, wee, oh. That's it. What's what happened? The SS soldiers, they come out. They're like, we're ready to fight. We're ready to fight for PRT. It's as low as artillery. We're going to bomb you and destroy you. America will be destroyed. They're SS soldiers. They literally, that's what Mr. McKee referred to the paratroopers as, the SS soldiers. My stormtroopers of death.
There are worse things to be compared to. At least we're competent at our jobs.
Yeah, and I don't have a little mustache to use, but I have this one. I have this one.
Well, that's a Stalin mustache.
It's a little. Hi, it's me, Mario. I communism. Hey, how's it going? Go to the gulag. You do not pass a go.
They put a little red hat on.
Abe's back there. Ay, ay, ay. You're all gonna die. Then they're on the phone. They're over there like, yeah, I'll go to report some maniacs putting spells on our asses. So bad, I need preparation H. What happened? Now, that is a slight dramatization.
It's not that much of an exaggeration.
Yeah, it's a slight
Put it that way,
dramatization.
yeah.
It's a little bit.
Very small amount of hyperbole.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What actually happened is that we got Jesse to show us some Dragon Ball Z energy ball magic, and that's
that
what
was
we
Tony.
used.
Tony already knew how to do that.
Well, Tony knew some, but you have it's witchcraft.
Well, him
So
being
have to go-
Asian, he had to bring his mom in to do some more spell casting
Yeah.
so that we could get the Vietnamese, shaman.
Yeah, because the Vietnamese Dragon Ball Z energy ball witchcraft magic that we use is different
it was
from the
by
Japanese.
the time everybody put their spin on this ball, it was a humongous rainbow ball of death, and they just rolled around taking out everybody. That's what happened.
Yeah.
So, folks, I'm so sorry that this happened. And I'm so sorry. It could have all been prevented for $350. Sorry, it is what it is. And you know how evil goes when you get started in an evil magic collection. The tendency is to push it as far as you can. We ended up in the backwoods swamps of Louisiana in a cauldron, summoning more ancient primordial beasts out of the swamp to do our bidding, our dark biddings. It was crazy, man. It's crazy.
Clover's good luck says y'all need to use Naruto magic instead.
Tex calls up and says, "Hey, I'm donating some magic beans." We get the beans, we pour them into the cauldron, and a stalk goes all the way to the heaven.
Mm-hmm.
We plan to climb it next week and bring down these infernal giants to go after them now.
To do battle with their 50-foot angels that are protecting.
Because we got to stop
Larry's
the 50-foot angels
Yeah.
that are stopping me from what was it? Manifesting.
astral projecting
Astral
into Larry's house.
Yeah. Astral projecting. No, it was that lady, whatever.
Oh yeah.
I projected and I singed her bushes, and I appeared at a hospital where 100 nurses, according to Larry, saw me as a big fat black blob
Mhm.
floating, because I'm a big fat guy, right? So I was floating as a big fat black blob, and they saw me.
Yeah.
But luckily, he's so holy because his wife, in between, I'm not going to say it, in between her hobbies
Mhm.
of joyriding and snorting and doing all types of ill shit, she managed to pray for hours and hours to manifest the
Yes.
angels to stop us. Now, this part here is actually a matter of their canon.
There's actually no exaggeration going on at this part, like at all. It's not even a joke.
That's what they really said.
Yeah.
But these 50-foot angels stopped me from burning the bushes and manifesting in the hospital to kill children as a giant black blob. Take that in, folks. This is literally what these people are saying. Literally. You don't believe me? Go to PRT News. There it is.
Mhm.
You have no idea the level of insanity that these people have
And that you got,
fomented in their brain.
yep. But all that was stopped all by a 50-foot angel that was protecting his
No,
house.
50-foot angels.
Yeah, 50-foot angels that were
50-foot
protecting
angels.
his house.
Protected, yeah. Stopped the evil doings. You can imagine how mad I was, how disappointed I was when I was there. I was in the hospital as a black blob, and at the same time, being omnipotent, I was able to appear and burn some woman's bushes. It was crazy, man. I was on a roll that night. I was just flying around in the ether, doing all kinds of evil, magic, bad stuff. And then I look up and dang it, wouldn't you know it, the 50-foot angels with flaming swords took me out.
I hate it when that happens.
I know. All the spell casting we did.
Those pesky 50-foot angels.
And those giant cauldrons at Lowe's,
They're not cheap.
No, they're not. Oh, well, back to the drawing board.
Yeah. Should have used like ferret bones instead of chicken bones.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
You'll see me there one day, astral projecting, with your eyes rolled back in your head. Yeah, that happened. Yep. Between running my businesses and all the other crap I got to go through, I had time to stop and go do all of that. I don't even have time to look at their pathetic excuses for channels, which I don't know why you would anyway. But the difference between you guys and me, here it is right here. Very simple. You watch me obsessively. You hang on every word. You're watching this skit right now and you're clipping it so you can try to turn it into some kind of weird bullshit that you do. I don't watch you. I don't look at you. Any information I get is from people who are trying to help us by sending it to me. Nobody's watching you. In my inner circle, nobody looks at you. There are people that are kind enough to take one for the team to go and look at your bullshit. Because I can't do it. I can't stomach it. I can't look at your faces. I'm going to say this publicly, and this is my personal opinion. All of this is just my personal opinion, right? But you are some of the ugliest human beings that I've ever laid eyes on. And I worked in bars where, man, when the lights came on, dude, you were like, you thought you were Mos Eisley in Star Wars.
They look like something you'd pull out of Gotham City.
They do.
Like Batman.
Like Barton would be the scarecrow.
Yeah.
Scraggly hair, you know.
Yeah.
Mike would be the penguin, obviously.
Yeah.
He's a fat butterball. And then Larry would be the Joker. I don't know. What would he be? Who would he be? Killer Croc.
Yeah.
Killer Croc. Let's see. Poison Ivy. I guess Jessica could be Poison Ivy. She's like 4 Poison Ivies, but she could be Poison Ivy.
Yeah.
Because she's poison, that's for sure, and a liar. Deranged Dana, I don't know. Who could she be?
Harley Quinn, I guess.
Harley Quinn? No, man. That'd be Janice. Because, Mike, you think you're the Joker, but you're really the Penguin. You're just a fan. That's what you are.
Maybe he's Clayface.
Too fat. You know, you got all this rogues gallery. I don't even like Batman, but you got this rogues gallery of villains, dude. That's what they are. Clough could be the Penguin, but he's too hairy.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's pretty damn insane. It'd be a toss-up with that last spot. Riddler, Joker, take your pick. I don't know. New category. You people, you keep doing what you do, and then when you get roasted, then you get upset and you want to run and cry and tell everybody that you're being abused. Stop doing what you do. Stop making silly posts. Stop attacking us. Stop hating. And this wouldn't be happening. It's my opinion that you're very ugly people, inside and out. Alan says, that Jessie girl has said Josh has never seen the likes of her. Yeah, we have. I grew up around fat bitches.
Everyone has seen the likes of her.
Big fat mouthy bitches, leftist mouthy bitches is what they are.
Like we see them every day on
She's
TV.
the admitted witch though.
Yeah.
She's the one that actually brags about being a witch. I mean, and so does that Geyer guy, Clayface. He's Clayface Geyer. Don't forget about you, the little gay wizard from Britain, right? He's not from Britain. He gets mad when I call him that. I don't know why, because it seems like it'd be an upgrade. But his face is like, he'll be talking trash tomorrow. We all do. Anyways, folks, thank you for letting me vent and have fun. Let's pick a couple people to be winners here, man. Yeah, exactly, Lakota Angel. They're called big mouth women. That's what they are. Luke, it's nothing personal. I just think Batman is just a rich man's son. I don't like that. I'm like, he was given everything, you know. Look, Jamie Val said it quick. I haven't won. Okay, Jamie, well, you win. I pick you. Next, we got one more. Anthony, I'll let you do it.
Let's see.
Yeah, Dick Richards. Batman is a hack.
Lawrence Kelly, I thought we had picked you before. We never picked him?
I wouldn't know. You have to go back and look on the email. I know not Dale here, but Dale Pendergash is saying he had one. Dale, I just sent you a freaking hoodie. I personally sent it to you. I mailed it myself. I don't know why Pendergash is saying that.
Yeah, we sent it off to you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so say he's never claimed his prize.
Who?
Lawrence Cowley.
Okay, Lawrence, you've never claimed your prize. Why is that?
Okay, so if you've won before, Lawrence, and just send us your information.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go ahead and pick Jessica. She's been here for a while now, pretty consistently. She's never won, and she's never been picked. Joe, no, you don't have to be in green to win a giveaway.
no,
but you do have to be in green to watch tomorrow's podcast episode,
No,
which is going to be a members only.
Episode, YouTube episode.
I mean, yeah. Well, it's a pre-recorded episode. It's going to be members only. If you want to catch that tomorrow, you do have to be in green.
Excalibur Knight says, I want an autograph book of pardons. Well, throw that one in the trash and send me your information, Excalibur. You got the email there, or you got the thing at the bottom there, giveaways, puritpodcast.com, and I'll send you something else. Just tell me what you want. You've been around forever. You're one of us. You're a paratrooper. You're an SS soldier. SS Liebstandarte. Ridiculous, these people. So, whatever it is, I think I see becomes a Nazi soldier to me. It's our little lyrics. Everything. Or it's a Russian bot. It's either Russian or German. Either way, it's always something bad, right? So old head tripping says, y'all never pick me and say you don't remember me. Well, you haven't been around in a while.
We remember you from way back.
Yeah, we remember you from way back.
I could have sworn you won before.
I thought so. I tell you what, old head tripping, it's on me, brother. Send me, there it is, giveaways at prtpodcast.com. So who do we got? We got him and Lawrence and Excalibur. 3 blasts from the past who say that they haven't won. I'm going to make sure that you do. We'll send you something. I'll have to look at what supplies we got, but I'll send you something, a shirt, whatever. Give me your shirt size, and we have a shirt. I'll send it to you. The other 3 people get a hat. Jamie, now you being, are you a female or a male? I know there's only 2 genders. Don't give me this bullshit. How do we get whatever we have won, please? Giveaways at prtpodcast.com. Giveaways at prtpodcast.com. One more time. Say it again.
Giveaways
at prtpodcast.com.
It's also scrolling at the bottom of the screen.
Let me know that you heard what I said there. Old head says, cool, thank you. All right. Because you definitely got old head on there.
Yeah. It's so weird. It's like a
Beetlejuice.
What is that? Like a Gary's Mod screenshot? What is that?
Oh,
Ugh.
God. Creeping TV. Okay, so when I was on TV, this is another reason why I didn't want to do my thing on that new show. I told them I don't want to do it because I'm just picky about I don't want people doing me, playing me. Let me play myself. I can act myself and act scared and just relive it. It's better than having a man with a man bun on there. And I like Michael Sheen and you know, but I said something. I was like, dude, Michael, come on. No. He was the executive producer of that show. Was it These Woods Are Haunted?
Yeah.
And Dell says, where can I buy a PRT hat? You know what, Dell? I'll send you one too. All right. How many winners is that today? 7?
Yeah.
Tony and Maddie are like, you're killing us.
Oh, you know what? Also, today's winner. So they won a hat, right? Today.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So make sure that y'all specify that, please, in your email when you send your information to Josh to giveaways@prtpodcast.com. Please make sure to specify that you want a hat. Just send your name, say that you want a hat, and your mailing info, please. That's all we need, and we'll get you your stuff.
If you're a female and you don't want a hat, just tell us that you want a shirt. If you're a guy and you're okay with the hat, then great.
Yeah. But if you want a shirt, please make sure you tell us what size you wear.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, it's time for me to get started on my job. What a bummer. You work till 7 in the morning. All right, folks, pray for me. I pray for you. Thank you to everybody who showed up. Thank you to everybody who donated. Thank you to everybody who's helping to keep the show going. Thank you for listening to my rant. I'm sorry I get upset, but I don't like when people trash my wife. When people trash my family, make threats and crazy stuff. These people have done the most horrible, obnoxious things that they could possibly dream up. And then somebody says, oh, it's just petty. Oh, it's petty? Then you can go be petty with them, which he probably is already over there telling them how horrible people we are, whatever. Good. Do what you got to do. Because we're not the bad guys. All right? Don't make me that. Because I will defend myself and my family. We're going to defend ourselves. All right. Good night. We love you.
I'm manifesting through the pain. I reach for you like a fading ghost, like a vapor of smoke. You look back but didn't see me. One day you'll notice something missing, and you'll turn to look for me, and I'll be gone. Just a memory, a fleeting memory, forever chasing me like a haunted cemetery. Forever you'll be missing me. I'm manifesting through the pain, like a whisper lost in the rain. In the night, I'd fading like a ghost train. You have only yourself to blame. An empty carriage, a carnival of pain, with ghosts standing in the rain. My memory, your pain. Just a memory.